Anybody. That's because I had some stuff muted. Now you should be able to hear people. But you probably... Yeah, you should be able to hear everything properly now. So is the background music, how's the level of that? Is it much higher than me, or is it reasonable? Should I turn it down?
All right, seems like they're okay with the sound.
I could go down a little bit just listening to it, but I'm also not going to be listening to the stream as much as other people.
Why not? You're a bad player. We've not decided. Okay, well, I cut it a little bit because I have a little space to play with. And yeah, if people still have problems with that, feel free to just let us know in Twitch chat and I can adjust it further. I'm doing this in a weird way, so we'll just see how that goes. And I guess we can officially get started. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Seekers of the Scorpion Crown on the Greyhawk channel. Before we get started, we have some really fantastic sponsors to thank for all of their support. First off, we want to thank the people who support Greyhawk channel on Patreon and the Twitch subs. You guys make this whole thing work, and without you, I wouldn't be able to be doing this really fun show, so thank you very much. Also, Roll20. So Roll20 is the official supporter. Yeah, officially, Greyhawk channel is officially supported by Roll20. And Roll20, if you don't know, great resource if you want to run any kind of RPG games online. It's got a dice roller built in. You can have maps, tokens, all that stuff. It's a virtual tabletop, and you can find them by going to roll20.net. Also, Heroic Maps is the official battle map sponsor for this channel. You can find their library of more than 300 maps on DriveThruRPG. Tabletop Loot is also a sponsor, and we have a promo code for them. So if you go to tabletoploot.com and you enter Greyhawk in the coupon code box, you can get 15% off your next dice order. So that's cool. Totally take advantage of that. And hey, remember at the beginning of this when I talked about our patrons and our Twitch subs? Well, you guys get special treatment because you are helping this whole thing happen. So you, if you are one of those, can get coupon codes to ruinc.com and Cantrip Candles. If you are wondering where those are, you just need to go over to the Greyhawk channel's Discord, specifically the private section, and get those coupon codes, get access to all that good stuff. And now that that's out of the way, we can talk a little bit about this game. So as I said, this is Seekers of the Scorpion Crown. We are playing BX D&D. For those who aren't aware what that is Basic Expert Box Set, and it is a form of Dungeons & Dragons that came out in 1981 and was, for lack of a better term, the basic rules, the introductory rules to get people interested in the game, and then, you know, they could graduate to Advanced Dungeons & Dragons if they wanted, but that's lame. Don't play that, play this. This is better. I decided to use this rule set because I thought it would just be a cool, fun, retro thing to do. Let's see, the only things I have changed about the rule set, for those who do know BX, is I have removed Descending Armor Class and THAC0 in favor of Ascending and Base Attack Bonus. So, you know, if you're going to shake your finger at me for not doing the rules right, I can't help you. Anyway, I am the Dungeon Master, Lex, and I am joined by 3 amazing players. There will be a 4th player next week. Davis will be joining us, but he's too busy being in Vermont today, so he can't play for the first session. But let's go around and introduce everyone, and I'd like to start with Jordan. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, all your cool stuff.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I have a PH in the middle of my name that is silent. You can find me mostly on YouTube under the youtube.com/Jordan with a PH in the middle. And I do Forgotten Realms lore videos. So some people were just like, wait, you're on a Greyhawk show? And I'm like, shh, quiet. So, but if you're interested in the lore behind Dungeons and Dragons, I make videos on that. So check it out. And then other than that, you can find me on Twitter. And I think my Twitter handle is in the overlay, so you can check me out there, as I tweet mostly pictures about my cat.
Nice. All right, so up next, Wild Engineer. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hi, I'm Wild Engineer. I've mostly just been looking for games to play. I play a lot of Call of Cthulhu, some D&D. I've done a couple different channels like Straticus and Counter Roleplay. Welcome to the party. So yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm actually gonna increase the amount of D&D I know.
Nice. All right. And last but not least, Michaela. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Michaela. My pronouns are she, they. I have been playing Dungeons & Dragons for about 3 years, but I've never played this edition, and so I'm super excited to get a chance to do that. You can see me doing all sorts of nerd stuff all the time. It's constantly posting on Twitter, but I have my own regular every other week stream called Celtic Knot as well as this one. So I'm very excited to be on more D&D shows.
Nice. All right. Very cool. If you're watching in chat, if you notice anything weird with audio or you have any questions for us, feel free to just let us know. Happy to oblige, fix stuff, all that good, all those good things, all the things that I can do to help you, unless they're extremely technical problems, in which case, I don't know, man. I figured out how to use OBS like last night.
Well, it's great. It looks great.
I've come a long way. So, I don't want to give too much of an introduction for this campaign. I want to start things off, start hot, which means I should probably have my notes open. That would be a good idea.
Step 1.
Step 1, open your notes. How to DM.
So you've decided to be a dungeon master. Captain America sitting down on his chair.
So good. Get those memes in here. Okay. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's change the playlists and start in on the game.
Woo!
Lightning splits the sky like a sword, and for an instant, you see everything in sharp contrast. The galleon, its sails whipping in the sudden winds. The sea, its roiling waves tossing the ship like a toy. The flash of a cutlass dripping crimson as it pulls from the back of the deckhand standing before you. His scream of pain drowned in a boom of thunder as he falls. Then everything is swallowed back into the starless night. Faintly you hear the first mate yelling, "Mutiny, to arms," somewhere on the quarterdeck behind you. Your eyes adjust just enough to make out the shapes of half a dozen sailors lunging towards you. We are now entering combat.
Oh no!
Congratulations.
So how do we do this? What do we do?
Okay, so
I'm panicking.
you're panicking. You're just on the deck of this ship, you were taking it, and suddenly, mutiny, people are getting murdered all over the place.
I'm gonna die, y'all.
Uh-oh. Excuse me while I sort my windows a little bit. I have the combat order thing. Basic combat procedure, which popped up in the wrong window. I apologize again. OBS is hard to use, you guys. Everyone remember that. Okay, so BX works a little differently than your modern versions of Dungeons & Dragons. There is not individual initiative. There is team initiative. So but before we even get to that, the sequence of events goes as such. Number 1, characters who wish to cast a spell or perform a full retreat from melee must declare it. So you see this guy fall down dead in front of you. There are 6 sailors coming at you. It's nighttime. There's lightning. You're on a ship that's rocking to and fro. If anyone would like to cast a spell or run away, this is when you would announce that.
I mean,
Wild Engineer.
okay. Important question. Are there any runes or magic words that I can read right now? Because that's what I can cast.
You don't see any runes or magic words around you in the general vicinity.
Right. I think I might have to run behind someone.
Sure. There's this is like a cargo ship. There are barrels of things. You could probably duck behind one of them if you wanted to.
Yes, I'll
Okay.
do that.
So you're going to retreat.
I'm also going to retreat.
Sure. I will point out that all of your characters are here. Audience, we're going to get to that in a second. The next thing that happens is initiative. So one of you rolls 1d6 for your team.
Who wants to roll?
I nominate Michaela.
Ah, dang. Okay. 2.
2. Okay. All right. So I rolled, and unfortunately, the mutineers have rolled better than a 2. So now, let's see here. The next thing that happens is we might check morale. I'm not gonna do that right now. Movements are made. The mutineers move towards you. Specifically, they're moving toward the characters that Jordan controls.
Okay.
Nord the cleric.
Nord the cleric.
So you guys, there's 3 of you that you directly control, and then you've got some retainers running around. Whatever you want to... I think I'm going to be controlling them for now. We'll get to them when we get to them. For now, let's just say they're in the background. So we've got guys approaching Nord. People are mostly ignoring the other
My
two
other
of you.
two?
Yeah.
Okay.
The people who have tried to hide because...
So I'm mostly controlling Nord right now. Is that my
Yes,
understanding?
yes.
Okay.
And if you guys think any of your other characters, your retainers, would have tried to hide as well, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume they're engaged in some amount of combat. But it's sort of happening in the background in terms of a cinematic sense. Okay. Missile attacks would happen now, but they don't because nobody is doing that. So we don't have to worry about it. Spells would be cast right now, but we don't have to worry about that either. Then melee attacks trigger. So we have these buccaneers are going to attack Nord. And specifically, I think probably 2 of them are coming at you.
Okay.
Let's see how well I can open all of the windows and stack them all on top of each other. And we've got 2 attack rolls coming at you with cutlasses. One of them is going to be an 11.
11 will miss because my AC is 16.
The other one's going to be a 3, so I don't think that hits.
No. So yeah, he comes at me and I have my warhammer and I'm just like, knock it off. You knock it off.
So yeah, these guys are coming at you. They look mean. They got some bad scurvy, and they could have just really used some oranges and they would have been fine. So that is other pirates that are in the background are attacking some of your retainers. You don't have a good view of exactly what's going on with that because storms, but you know that it's probably not good. You hear the yells of action and combat. Cool. Okay. Now, you guys get to go. I think that... Yeah, you guys get to go. So, if anyone... Jordan, I feel like you're not doing any missile attacks. You're not casting any spells. You didn't declare any of that. So, you can move, but there are enemies right in front of you, so I assume you probably don't want to.
Okay. Is there opportunity attacks in BX D&D?
You know what? I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge.
Let's make it up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my.
I'm gonna say for now no, because you caught me. I hadn't checked that particular rule.
Okay. I will also try to not point out your BX rules flaws knowledge
Yikes.
in the future. So Nord, who is a cleric of Cord, an acolyte of Clord, he's got a warhammer, and I'm gonna raise it up and I'm gonna say, "So you want to brawl? Is that it?" And I'm gonna come swinging down on one of those guys that came at me with their cutlass.
Nice.
I roll a d20.
Yep, you roll a d20.
Just like D&D.
Just like D&D. You
Natural 20.
There you go.
Meow, meow, meow.
You've done it. Here's a bummer for you. There's a rule I do know in BX. Natural 20 always hits, but you don't get any kind of damage bonus. A natural 20 just means no matter what you hit.
Okay, I hit. All right, and my Warhammer is a D6, so I roll D6 worth of damage. That is going to be 1 damage.
All right. You don't have a strength bonus, nothing like that?
Nope, I've got a 12 strength with a 0 bonus, so just 1 damage.
All right, you smack this guy with your hammer, and he
Can
reels.
it be like a light, like dink?
No, I mean, okay, so this hurts him. It's like
Okay.
it's not enough to knock him down, but you swing the hammer, it hits on his shoulder, and you hear a crunch, and he reels back a couple of steps. And comes back at you brandishing his sword, very angry. So you hurt him. Gonna leave a bad bruise. Probably gonna have to be reset, but definitely not down.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
So that's it for that. Some other stuff happens in the background. Cool. You hear a Wilhelm scream as a pirate, or I'm sorry, not a pirate, a mutineer is thrown overboard by one of your retainers. I don't remember all of their names, so you guys can pick which one, but one of them did it.
One of
Big thumbs up for
our
that guy.
retainers, or one of Jordan's retainers?
One of the group's retainers.
Okay. Nice.
So you've got one less pirate or mutineer to worry about. I keep calling them pirates because I want to, but they're not really about that life. So now we are entering a new round of combat. If anyone would like to decide to cast a spell or to run away, declare it. I guess, yeah, if Jordan wanted to run away, he could declare that. And
I'm holding fast.
yeah, if not, we're just designate somebody to roll that d6.
I want to
I'll roll it this time.
search of like a lifeboat or something, like a means of escape.
There are some boats. We can get to that on a little later in. But yeah, somebody roll me a d6 and we'll see which side goes first.
I'll go for that.
Okay.
A 3.
A 3.
3, better than me. I've been officially promoted.
1 point. You guys get to go first in this particular round. So
Just enough.
just enough. It was just enough. All right. So up next we have if any of you guys want to move because you are going first, feel free to do that.
I guess if I could run, or call it behind Nord, since I see that someone's injured already.
Okay, so you crawl up behind Nord, and that's anybody else making any movement?
I'm going. Do I have like a general sense of where boats might be that I could start moving towards?
Yes. So you know that roped to the side of the ship there are, I think probably there should be 4 longboats, but 2 of them, one on each side, have already been whipped away in the storm because this is a particularly bad thing that is rocking the ship all over the place.
Not bad.
Okay. So there's it seems to just be getting worse. So you can certainly try and get to one of those.
I think she will try to find like a good defensive position and like ready her sling.
Okay, hunker down. Sure.
Yeah.
Up next, we have missile attacks. So actually, if you want to use that sling, now's the time to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. I will load one of my little stones, drawing it out of a random pocket, and try to take a swing. How do I roll? What's my bonus? Like.
So your bonus to hit with ranged attack weapons is your dex modifier.
Okay.
You just don't get a bonus to damage from it, unlike modern
And it's just a d20?
Yep.
Cool. That is a 15 to hit.
15. Let me remind myself what their armor class Armor class. 15 will hit. Yes.
Sweet.
Would you like to? Which one are you attacking? There's technically 5, which you would have access to because you have a ranged weapon. But there are 2 specifically in front of Nord.
I'll go for the one on the left of Nord.
All right.
Arbitrarily.
Roll damage.
Okay. I realized that had written down every kind of damage except for sling damage. So
It's 1d4.
Yeah, I was gonna say it should be 1d4.
okay. 1.
Excellent.
Do I add any damage points to it?
Nope.
Just the straight D4. Okay.
Just straight D4.
1.
So you hurl a small rock, and this guy who just got hit in the shoulder with a hammer, and he's like, arg, reeling backward. He starts to sort of compose himself, and then a rock just hits him right in the eye, and he's like,
Like, yes, I did it.
Very cool. All right. Up next, we have spells, which were not announced, so we're skipping over that, and melee attacks.
Nord will take his warhammer again and say, "See, the storms bringing, or the god of storms brings stones upon your faces. Now back off!" And I'll swing again. And that is a 17
Definitely hits.
for 4 damage.
Ooh, there you go. You've taken down the 60-point monster. You've done it.
Yay!
So you swing. So the guy's sort of like, my eye. Now he's going to have an eye patch, but for his line of work, totally reasonable. He would have been
great,
fine.
yeah.
And then as
He'll
he's
get promoted.
but he's been distracted just enough so that you can clock him over their head and you hear a crunch, and his limp body crumples to the deck of the ship.
Ugh, I knew you weren't worth your salt, buddy.
Randall,
Right.
do you do anything in terms of, do you like stab anybody with a knife? Anything going on with
I
you?
have a dagger.
Mm-hmm. There is another guy in melee with Nord, so if you are right there now because you're hiding behind Nord. So if you wanted to do that, you can. If not, that's fine too. Just give me the option.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Since now that the crowd's been thinned down a bit, I'm just gonna try and get a quick stab from below. Does it? I'm guessing a 10 doesn't hit.
10 unfortunately does not hit. So that ends, or I'm sorry, that brings us to their initiative. At which point they will make some melee attack, or the dude who's still in front of Nord, the one guy, is gonna make a melee attack against him. That looks like it's going to hit. I need you to take a big 2 points of damage.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Like most of
Okay.
your health now.
I've got 6 health. So for those watching at home,
You have probably the most hit points in our group right now.
I rolled really good
Oh,
on
yeah.
hit points. So
All right, so that is some other ones in the background fighting people, fighting. Someone else is cut down in the background. You can't tell in the half light if it's one of your retainers or just one of the people who are part of the ship's crew, who might either be a mutineer or not a mutineer. You're not sure, but someone is killed. Fun. Now we start a new round, and we are introducing some problems. A wave hits the ship, and it begins to rock even more violently. It seems the storm is starting to get worse, if we're even possible. Okay, everyone needs to make me a strength or dexterity ability check. Now, the way ability checks work in BX is you choose, in this case, either your strength or dexterity, and you roll 1d20, and you want to roll under the ability score number.
So the higher the number, the better.
No, yes, the higher the score that you have, the better, because you're trying to roll low.
Because you try to roll under it. Okay.
Yes.
So like my 12 strength is better to roll under than my 10 dex.
Correct.
Okay.
And no modifiers apply.
17. I failed.
I'll
Uh-oh.
have to roll under a 9.
Yay. I don't think I've ever said, yeah, I rolled a 5.
Nope. I rolled an 18.
We'll go to the watery grave together, Randall.
Hold on, we're not there yet. That's a complication I'm introducing later in the combat. Jordan, don't just jump ahead here. So the okay, a wave hits the side of the ship, washes over everybody. Two of the, actually, this is relevant. Jordan, how badly did you fail?
Oh, I got a 17.
I know, but like, and your score was a 12?
My score is a 12, so plus 5, or I missed by 5.
So you missed by 5. And Wild Engineer, how much did you miss by?
By 9.
By 9.
Yeah.
All right. A wave hits the side of the ship. Immediately, the mutineer in front of Nord manages to keep his footing by grabbing onto some loose rigging and steadying himself. Another mutineer, however, is not so lucky and is swept off of the ship, or rather to the edge of the ship, and is hanging on by his fingernails, trying not to pitch off into the writhing sea. However, Nord and Randall are both also swept up in that wave because you failed by such a large degree. And you are now both hanging over the edge of the boat.
Oh gosh.
Now,
Oh,
Michaela, your character, whose name I have forgotten.
Mallory.
Mallory. I'm going to write that down. Take notes, everyone. It's good. Mallory, you're fine. You maybe because you were in the back, like near some barrels, and you just had something to grab onto, you're totally steady. You're all good. But you see this happen to 2 of the people near you.
I'm like, oh dang. In reaction to this, as soon as I got my sea legs all stable, I'd like to quickly tie one of my rope lengths to my grappling hook and kind of hook it into one of these barrels if I can, or some like big piece of wood, maybe even the ground, and like tie the other end to my belt.
Very cool. I'm gonna say that's you could, if you're taking this round to do that, that could be your movement, and you sort of could still technically movement and action are not separate things in BX, but for the sake of this, I'll say that can be your movement. Your action can actually be doing something with that. Although before that happens, you guys need to roll, or someone needs to roll initiative.
I think it's your turn, Jordan. It looks like you're muted, by the way.
I'm muted. I rolled a 2.
A 2.
I should get a new D6, I think.
Yeah, new
No,
D6.
I just love how big Wild smiles. It's just like spreading as we continue to fail.
Okay, well, you have the pirates are quicker at the draw than you guys, unfortunately. And again, they're not pirates. Man, I'm gonna just keep making that mistake. It's bad. Get this DM out of here. Cancel me.
Can we vote on a new?
There will be a straw poll
back to
in
conversations that nobody knew about
Yeah.
because we were practicing last night. Anyway.
Listen, everyone, there's going to be a straw poll in the Twitch chat to elect a new DM of the game in the next 15 minutes. So everybody get ready. Yeah, so several of these buccaneers are not steady on their feet. It looks like when the wave hit them, they were not washed to the edge of the boat, but they also didn't quite succeed in that check either. So one of them basically spends most of his time trying to regain his footing, makes some feeble attacks against some of the ship members in the background, but is not particularly effective. The one who was standing in front of Nord and kept his footing completely is in good shape and sees that both Nord and Randall are hanging on for dear life at the side of the boat. He smiles wickedly in the flashing lightning and trudges over towards the precarious cleric.
Woo!
And now he's going to try to attack you. And if he hits, you're probably going to go overboard.
Okay.
So, So he brings his sword down onto your hand, holding on. You scream out in pain as you lose your grip and fall backward into the sea.
Oh no.
Laughing the whole way. So my god is Cord, who is the god of storms. So Nord is just really enjoying this wholeheartedly. This whole experience is just amazing. So he's just like, "Wah!" and falling backwards.
Now the only, let's see here. The only thing that I will allow in this situation, because Randall is like right next to you. Randall, you could attempt to grab him, but if you fail, you both go over.
Interesting.
May I point out that Mallory has a rope tied around herself and she was posed to like jump and save people? Could that also be part of this?
So that's the thing. She was, but you failed on initiative.
Oh, correct. Okay.
So if you would succeed on initiative, I was going to give you that, yeah.
Okay.
Now you see, Randall is a coward, and he can only think about saving himself right now. So that's probably not gonna happen.
All
I can
right.
respect that. I can respect that.
Well, Nord the Cleric falls into the writhing ocean. What has become of him? We might find out later. Jordan, I would grab one of your other character sheets.
Sure thing.
So, that was the bad guy. So now we're actually over to your initiatives, and Michaela, this is you. Now we're over to you. You saw your cleric friend just like lose his grip and fall off the side of the boat, and this mutineer is standing over him cackling.
I don't really like that, so I think I will, now securely tied, pull out one of my spears and chuck it at this mutineer who just chucked my friend overboard.
Nice. All right, roll the hit.
Okay, is that also going to be ranged for throwing a spear?
Oh, what? I don't know if there was a special thing for thrown weapons. I feel like there might be. Let's check real quick. I know that it's in here somewhere. Weapon combat stats. Spear. Brace, melee, missile. Okay, well, definitely within range. I think that I'm gonna say for the time being that you can add strength if you want to your damage roll because you're throwing it. I might change my mind later, but yeah.
I do not want to add strength because I am weak.
Oh, sure, okay. Well, then you can choose to add nothing to damage if you like.
Okay, yeah, let's add nothing.
Okay.
Oh, that's a natural 19.
Oh, yeah, that definitely is.
Yeah, sweet. That's pretty great. Okay, and I roll a d6,
Yep.
and I get a 5.
Hey, okay, so
Hey!
you're mad.
Yeah.
You're mad that this guy just presumably killed your friend, and you throw this spear, and Randall, what you see is just this guy. He cuts down Nord, and then he turns his attention towards you and raises his sword, and then before he can bring it down, the end of the spear just shoves out of the front of his chest, and he sort of goes, coughs up some blood, and pitches over the side of the boat.
Oh, thank God he's dead. Can I try and pick myself up over the edge?
You certainly can. I'm going to need strength ability check.
Oh, God. So I'll have to roll under or
Under, yeah.
Let's hope I fail this roll. Oh, no.
I'm just used to rolling so good.
Yeah, that would have been great if this wasn't a sail check. I fail by 10.
You feel? Oh my gosh. Okay. Big yikes. The one thing that you are lucky in is that we're not at the top of the round, which means it doesn't matter how much you fail by. It just means you're still hanging on, but you do not get up. So,
Is there anything else I can do or not really? I think-
not if you fail the check. You're still hanging there.
Cool.
So that is it.
So Randall's just like, help! Yeah, somebody help me!
All right. Now we are to the top of another round. And we need someone to roll initiative for the group.
Oh,
The 2. Okay.
I'm sorry, what did we get for that?
2.
2.
2.
Man, you guys cannot roll above a 3 on initiative. But you're in luck. The mutineers rolled a 1.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, well, another wave violently hits the ship. I need strength or dex from all three of you. And Jordan, who is this character that you have jumped into?
Oh, this is Thornwell, who is an elf. So he looks over. He's like, he's got a longsword, and he's battling back some people. And he looks over with his elven ears as he hears the cackling laughter of Nord fall into the ocean, and he just gets messed up angry. And he's Thornwell is gonna show his thorns. He's also gonna roll this strength check. And he rolled a natural 20, so that's a fail by 8. So
Thornwell, no! Why are you
it was
rolling
nice to
natural
know you.
Already dead.
Already gone.
Already gone. Thorwell is swept to the other side of the ship, hanging on for dear life.
Wait, Thorwell, that's your new one, right?
This is new.
Yep. Thornwell is the new elf.
Mhm.
We'll see how long he lasts.
We'll see how long he lasts. We could say that he's next to Randall or very near Randall.
Okay. I think I run to go get Randall and see if Nord is okay.
Mhm.
And then the water just hits me and he just falls flat on his face and slides across the deck until he's right next to Randall, and he's like, "Oh, there you are."
I found you.
so close. And Randall fails by 1.
Oh, okay. So you're just still hanging on. You
Nice.
actually, you know what? I wrote this chart a little weird, but technically by the rules that I have down, you would be able to climb back up this round.
Okay.
You will just be suffering a penalty to your armor class, and I think to one other thing, but it wouldn't impede your movement.
Okay.
So yeah, when we get to that, you will be able to move around a bit. Let me just see if I can pull up the relevant window, and there we are. Okay. So. Yes. So yeah, you, Wild Engineer, remember you have -2 AC for the round, but you can move, you can take actions, all that good stuff. If you guys get to go first, so any movement people want to happen, that happens now.
Can I climb up?
How much did you fail by?
By 8.
By 8. Oh, okay, that just got you to the edge of the ship. Yes, you can. I'm gonna say you can.
Do I roll to climb up? Another
Eh,
strength check?
Yes, do that.
Okay. This is a 9 that is under my 12 strength, so I succeed.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you're able to climb up. So you have a -2 penalty to AC for
Okay.
the round. But you're back on the deck of the ship, sliding around, uneasy on your footing.
Right. So failing by 1, I'm allowed to climb back on, but I'm stuck prone, maybe.
Yes. So yeah, you also have -2 on your AC. You just have really bad footing, but you are back on the deck of the ship. What is Mallory doing?
Well, Mallory rolled a 2 on her save.
Oh, okay. She's still perfectly fine. She's got some
Yeah.
sea legs on her.
Yeah, well, she's pretty dexterous. She's gonna have a go with her sling.
Sure.
That's
Yeah, you can see probably 3 more of these mutineers are still on the deck and active.
yeah.
Let's see if any of them look particularly like they're having a difficult time. One of them does. One of them looks like he's sliding around trying to gain his footing after being hit by some water. So probably easier target.
Okay, let's have a go at him.
Sure.
And that is a natural 16 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that's a D4. 4.
Nice. Max damage.
Yes. It's like David and Goliath up in here.
Yeah. Mallory is really the MVP of this so far. So
Yeah, she's kicking ass.
Night
And I'm so
long
happy.
shot.
I hope she doesn't die immediately.
So Mallory, oh, you know what I should have said? You have a grappling hook stuck into the thing. You have rope tied around you, right? Because you did that
Yeah.
last round. I should say that you have a bonus to those checks every round.
Okay.
So I'll give you like a I'll give you a -4 circumstance bonus. So yeah, your rolls would be 4 lower than whatever you roll. Okay. So your sling bullet hits this guy, and he slides around a little bit. He looks real bad. He's not in good shape. Let's see, is there anything else going on? Oh, I guess it would be to melee attacks, but nobody else seems to be in melee of any of the bad guys. They're across the deck, so we've already taken movement. I guess that's it for this round, I believe. We're at the start of another round. Declare spells or retreats, and roll to keep your footing.
I declare a spell.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Thornwell is going to cast Magic Missile.
Very cool.
Oh, what'd you roll, Wild Engineer?
Fail by 6.
Ooh, back on the edge.
Oh, I missed that. We're doing another wave. Hit us.
Yes, it's top of the
missed that,
round. You gotta
sorry.
roll.
Okay, that's a 4, so I'm good.
Okay. How's
Just keep
Mallory
rolling
doing?
high.
Well, I rolled a 4, but because of my -4, I get technically a 0. I'm perfect.
Mallory's great. Mallory just can't even have a hard time with this. So Randall's back on the edge. Randall's just constantly hanging on for dear life. Roll me initiative. Michaela, why don't you roll for the group this time?
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Wild Engineer, you already rolled?
yeah, I rolled a 5.
A 5, very nice.
Yeah.
That's-
Let's go now.
yeah.
I'll take it.
You guys succeeded in the initiative. I will point out that you hear some of the mutineers yelling over the din of battle and lightning and thunder. Well, lightning doesn't make noise. Thunder. You hear this one guy yelling out, "The captain's mad to bring us toward the Bright Lands. The whole desert is cursed." You hear another yell, "I'd rather die with a sword in my hand than be drowned by this sorcerous storm." And that seems to be, maybe just a key to their character motivation. Just gonna put it out there. But you guys get to act first, so we need some.
Spells first, right?
No, spells don't happen until after ranged attacks.
Okay.
Strange. But movement is actually what happens first. Randall, if you want to get back up there.
Strength test?
Yeah, because you failed by quite a bit, as I recall. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna need.
I'm right there, standing there, because I just got up. Can I?
Oh yeah,
grab
someone's
his
right
hand
next
and
to
pull
him.
him up.
You can just do that if you want. Oh wait,
Okay.
no, hold on. You declare casting a spell.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
You can do that, but you have to drop your spell.
Nope. I'm gonna keep going. You got this, Randall.
And,
Oh, I matched him. Is it meat to beat?
Hey, I'm sorry, Michaela. What were you saying?
do I have enough movement to go pull him up? So it's movement.
Yes, let's say you can do that because movement is technically happening right now. So
Okay.
you can choose to just go before him, take your move first.
Yeah,
Sweet.
if that's cool with you.
I don't know. Is it meat to beat in this or what?
No, if she goes and pulls you up, especially considering she has the rope tied around her,
That's true.
you're gonna be fine. Mallory is just gonna lose any chance to do a ranged or a melee attack this round.
Okay, because I rolled to get up and actually rolled exactly a 9, which is my strength and dex.
Oh. So you could, if you want, Mallory can be running over to you, be like, "I'm gonna help you," and then you're like, "I got it." climb up all on your own.
It's like, I got it.
Oh, okay. Well, good job.
It's like, oh god.
So Mallory, you still have that ranged or melee attack if you'd like to make one, and now is actually when that happens. So if any ranged attacks would like to go off, this is when that happens.
Okay, how far away is the closest person from myself and Randall?
Probably a little ways. There are weird range increments in BX. I believe the farther range increment gives you a -1 to hit.
Okay. But is there anyone like immediately in melee
No.
to it? Okay. Then I'll go with whoever's closest.
I mean, there was the one person who was still hanging off, right?
Oh, really?
Was there one person still hanging off? Now I don't even remember.
Yeah, because one of the guys was hanging next to Nord and me.
How's Thornwell? Wait, a bad guy hanging off the side?
Yeah, one of the mutineers.
Oh, well, if there is,
If
I'm gonna knock him off.
Sure, make a melee attack.
Okay, I will use what cool weapon do I have at the moment? I'll just use my dagger and try to stab their fingers.
Go for it.
That's a 7.
Oh, well, I was gonna say they have a armor penalty because they're hanging there, but not that much of one. So you try and stab, and the guy's just like oh. The dagger's just sinking into the wood. Or like that knife game. It's like
Yeah, it's
that.
a very.
That's what I was just thinking. Like you're actually playing the knife game with him accidentally.
And I'm like, God, this is so hard.
All
This is
right.
awful already.
So unsuccessful. Hey, spells.
Boom.
Spells go off.
He holds up his hand. Bright energy shoots out and hits one of the mutineers that's coming right towards him
Sure.
for 1d6 plus 1 damage. That's 3 damage right to his face.
Wow. So that guy's running towards you to try to knock you off of the ship, and extend your hand. Ball of energy shoots out, hits him, forcing him backward over the other side of the ship,
Yes.
and he's out of here.
That was for you, Nord.
Rest in peace.
I thought Nord was having fun.
Yeah, he's probably enjoying himself, sinking to the bottom of the ocean like, oh, it's the best storm. Nord was the most developed of my characters, so I'm a little sad he was the first to die.
I warned everyone.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna love this Thornwell character. He's gonna be great.
Great. So, not the character we wanted, but the character we deserved.
Yes, the one we deserve.
So, that is it for you guys. The mutineers are going to act. The dude who is hanging on by his fingers is going to attempt to pull himself up. And he actually is able to do so. So now he is on the deck next to you, brandishing a weapon. Let's not give him a cutlass. Let's give him something else. Why not? Let's give him, like, a club. I don't know. Just try and be a little creative with it. So he's brandishing a weapon. He's up on the deck with you guys in melee. Another one is going to run towards one of the other crew members of the ship. And he says, he just yells, "Captain, if you won't listen to reason, then maybe I should be the captain." It runs forward. stabbing his sword into the heart of another figure
Oh
as
no.
they crumple down. Was that the captain? Yeah, you're pretty sure it was. So that's not good. But these two seem to be the only two left. You hear a yell from a woman off to the side. Captain, no! Again, kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on with all the storm. But now we are back to the top of the round. If anyone would like to declare a spell, do it now. Okay. I was going to say one spell has been cast, which means it's probably that's it. You're tapped out. Okay. Who shall roll initiative for your team?
Jordan will.
Okay.
5.
5. Pretty good. Can I beat it? No, I can't. You guys get to go first.
Snap.
Now we are over to movement. So you have one guy who is who is standing over the bloody body of the captain halfway across the ship. There's another guy standing right next to you, having just pulled himself up from the rail. Does anyone want to move anywhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the guy that just stabbed the captain. I'm moving
Okay.
towards him.
You're moving towards him. Anybody else going anywhere?
So the guy's still next to me and Mallory by the edge.
Correct.
Cool. I'm gonna stay there.
Okay, cool. Missile attacks, if any would like to be made, they would happen now. Okay. Spells were not declared. No spells go off. Melee combat attacks happen now.
I grab my sword, Thornwell does,
Sure.
to the guy that just stabbed the captain, and I look him right in the eye and I say, "I'm the captain now." And then I stab him with my sword for a 5
To hit?
to hit.
Oh, quick question. Does anyone have any two-handed weapons?
No.
Okay, then I won't even bring up that rule. What are Randall and Mallory doing?
I'm gonna try to stab this guy with my dagger.
Cool.
So that is a 10 to hit.
That actually hits because he has the AC penalty from bad footing.
Ah!
So you'll hit.
Full damage, please.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You give this guy a stab in the guts and he doubles over, clutching his side. As you put the dagger in, he's like, oh no, don't pull it out. And then you pull it out, he's like, whoa, what did I just say? He's clutching his side, bleeding profusely, looks really messed up, but is still barely standing.
And Randall, seeing his chance, decides to stab with his dagger too.
Sure.
Yay!
For a 13.
Yeah. You know what? Don't even bother rolling damage. You don't need to. This is a real Julius Caesar moment. These two characters coming with daggers and just are shanking this guy. Actually, I'm sorry. I should have been doing this more throughout. But Randall, how exactly would you like to kill this enemy?
Essentially, he stabs him, pushes him over, and says, "Yeah, you don't mess with us." It's like, right, making sure there's other people around him.
Yeah! Yeah!
Cool. No, you go first.
All right. So this guy, dead, bleeding out on the ground.
Sweet!
There's just one, the one in front of Thornwell. So that guy is going to get his turn. He whips around towards Thornwell, and he's like, you lot are the reason we're on this ship anyway. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't all be in this damn storm. We're all going to die. And then he just swings his cutlass at you. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 12.
He barely misses you. I wasn't sure if you're
Ooh.
wearing armor or not.
Yeah, I've got leather armor.
So he swings his cutlass, and you narrowly dodge. Your elven grace allows you to narrowly dodge out of the way at the last moment. The sword whips by you, maybe in a slow motion sequence in which some of your hair is cut or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
classic. And that's it.
Classic Thornwell.
Classic Thornwell. That's it for that round. We are at a new round, so I need everyone, let's make those ability checks first as a wave hits the ship. So yeah, roll under strength or...
I failed by 6.
Failed by 6. You are not near any of your allies. You are swept over and hanging on to the side.
Oh no. And this is Thornwell?
Thornwell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many characters will Jordan lose in 1 second? Let's find out. Been less than an hour.
Just an excuse to make more characters. It's all good.
Randall makes it by 1 by barely hanging onto the railing.
Very nice. And I assume that Mallory is all good.
Yeah, she succeeds by 2. So this time it's a little harder. It's a little bit harder.
Okay. So you are, let's see here. Who shall roll initiative?
I'm out. These two are doing great.
Okay, Wild Engineer, why don't you roll it?
4.
4. Succeeds. That beats the Buccaneers roll. You guys get to go first. So, okay, where are people moving? You know that Thornwell is hanging on to the opposite side of the ship. Would either Randall or Mallory like to attempt to aid him?
Randall would wait to see what Mallory does.
I'll go aid.
Guys.
I warned y'all about this guy.
Yeah. No, Mallory's like fearless at this point. She's just having a blast. So yeah, she'll run over and try to help him up. Their
Cool.
tiny, scrawny noodle arms.
Excellent. So you're going to help Thornwell. Let's see. That's that for movement. Anybody making any missile attacks? I guess, is Randall making a missile attack? No. Okay. No one's casting a spell. We'll skip right over that. Randall, you're not in melee with anyone, so you can't make any melee attacks. So we're just going to ignore that as well, and we're going to skip right over to Mallory helping Randall back onto the ship, which basically takes your actions, not technically how BX works, but your actions, and you're able to get Randall back on, and I'm going to give the assumption that you're holding on to him. Or not Randall, I'm sorry, Thornwell. Back on. I'm going to give the assumption that Mallory is holding on to him.
I'm okay with that. For like another wave to hit us kind of a thing, like she's holding on like that. Okay, yeah, we'll say that. If Mallory's okay with holding on to poor Thornwell, his 5'2" elven stature. Oh, you're muted, Mallory.
Yes. Michaela, you've muted yourself.
Thank you. I was saying, you're probably still taller than her.
All right, the bad boys, the single bad boy who is not swept over the side sees that you have survived and is going to stalk towards Mallory and Thornwell. However, before he can make it to you, there's a flash of steel as a sword cuts him down, and you see standing behind him a tall woman dressed in leather armor, who you recognize as First Mate Draga. She cuts him down and says, "No, I think technically now I am the captain." And with that, the storm continues to rage, but we are out of combat. You have a brief moment of respite before you hear a snapping sound. And Draga, looking up, sees that the main sail has come loose from the mast, whipping around. And she points and says, she's like, the sails come loose. If we don't secure that, it could drag the whole ship over. Someone's got to get up there and resecure it. And she starts climbing going to climb the mast.
I assist her. I run over and I'm like, I might not be the captain, but I can be the assistant to the captain. And I start climbing up the mast as well.
Very cool.
Randall looks at them and goes, "Yeah, you guys do that."
I have a question.
Sure.
Does this look like a problem that could be assisted by the use of like iron spikes? Like just like driving it in to secure it somewhere?
Interesting.
Have
It's
some
because
tools.
yeah, I was assuming it would be more like rope tying.
Rope tying. Okay.
But here's the thing about this. This is a thing that's definitely not in BX, but I'm using it in this game. We are now having a skill challenge.
Ooh.
So what I need are some ability rolls from the party, and I need you to just tell me. So the storm is hitting the ship. The sail has come loose. The wind is just grabbing onto the sail and forcing the ship to pitch even more violently. Now, I'm not making you roll every round to keep your footing because you're not in a combat scenario, so it's not like that kind of dire thing. But it's definitely bad. It's bad. It's bad stuff. The ship might be about to capsize. So we know that Thornwell is going to climb the mast. Is there anything else anyone else would like to try to do to, I don't know, keep the ship together?
Do we have someone at the wheel?
That's a good question. Do we have someone at the wheel? No, we do not. There's no one at the wheel.
Okay.
Jesus, take the wheel.
I will ask my beefy retainer, Elson, the cleric, to grab the wheel if Elson's still alive.
Yes, actually, so we had, you guys each had one retainer here, as I recall. How many hit points did both those retainers have?
Mine has 4.
Okay.
Mine has 6.
Okay, they're both injured, but neither of them are critically injured.
Okay.
So, yes, that retainer can attempt to grab the wheel. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
All right. They grab the wheel, attempting to force the ship back into some kind of steady position. I would call that strength because you're fighting against the rudder.
Okay. So. So it's an ability check, so I'm trying to roll under, right?
Yes.
Well, that's nice because Elson's strength is 9 and he got a 5.
Very cool. We have one success. We will get to Thornwell last. I have a special thing for you. Any other retainers or main characters, what would they like to be doing?
I think Randall will probably just look around to see if like there's any, anything he'd try and toss up to help them, if there's any rope or anything. He's not gonna climb, that's for sure.
He's not climbing. There's there you can grab some loose rope, and I would say Dex, I suppose, kind of makes sense.
Sure. It's fail by 1.
Oof. 1 failure. I will point out there are 4 other crew members that are still alive, mostly trying to steady some of the ship. There's the one other guy's trying to climb up there, but there are, let's see if there's 4. Actually, yeah, let's do this. One of them is trying to climb up the mast, along with the first mate and Thornwell. The other 3, however, are freaked the hell out. So they're like, the storm and the mutiny and all this is just too much for them. And they are not being helpful because they're just having panic attacks. Anyone, what would Mallory be doing?
I think she. Trying to think of what would actually be useful. She will check the boats that are still hanging on the side and try to like re-secure them.
Sure. That would be probably also strength.
Okay. So she failed by 2.
Okay. And Wild Engineer, your retainer, what would you like to have them doing? Oh, you're muted.
He'd probably go and try and help with the steering wheel.
That was actually success, so you don't need to.
Okay.
Some other, just throwing some ideas out there for things you guys can do. You can either attempt to navigate the ship through the storm, which would be one of the mental stat things, or you can attempt to rally the crew members who are freaking out, which would be a charisma.
Yeah, sure. He can try and rally.
Sure.
All right. So, all right. He success by 3.
Nice. All right. We have a success.
So this guy, he's like a tiny halfling. He's like, come on, you're going to do this or I'm going to burn it all down.
Nice. All right. He has successfully intimidated these guys to be like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. So they are once again trying to go about trying to batten down the hatches, and secure ropes and stuff. Helpful. Now, Thornwell, you're climbing up this mast. Going. There's lots of ropes. There's stuff to hang on to. I'm gonna assume you're just able to climb even with the weather conditions, especially because Drag is there. She might give you a hand. And you reach the top, and you just see this rope that's like whipping around, and Drag is reaching for it, trying to grab it. I'm going to need. Well, I'm gonna see what she does.
Okay.
She's not able to grab it. Try as she might, she can't quite reach it. I would say you can do this with. If you want to just try and grab it, it's probably strength. You might be able to talk me into dex. If you want to try doing something else creative, I am open to suggestions.
The only creative, I probably will roll strength.
Okay.
I want to roll intelligence. I want to do something really smart here.
Well, how could you?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Can I? I'm an elf. I'm in tune with nature. Can I kind of like see like, okay, the wind's coming in from the east, the way it's flapping the rope, and know kind of predicting where it's going to be, and then lunge out to grab it as a prediction?
It's interesting.
It's okay to not give it to me.
I might do that, but as wisdom and not intelligence.
Okay, then I will stretch out my arm and try to grab it with strength.
Okay.
Hoo-yah! And that is a natural 1, so I super succeed.
You super succeed. You did it.
I grabbed it.
You grab it. Things are looking up. Everything's coming
Yes.
up Millhouse.
Yes.
And the dragon's like, you did it. And as you're doing that, you grab it and you're securing the rope, and the sail is, getting furled back up. The clouds of this hurricane around you, because you're way up there, like near the crow's nest, the clouds of the hurricane around you begin to coalesce into a form within the din of the storm. A vague form of a humanoid face, wreathed in lightning and rain. You swear the howling of the wind becomes a warning, and you think you can hear the words, "Go no further." And then a torrent of wind hits the mast. Now, this is not technically Dragon Breath, but it is thematically like Dragon Breath. So why don't you give me a save versus Dragon Breath?
That's me.
Yes.
That is a 13, and my saving throw is a 15 for breath attacks.
So with saving throws, you do have to roll over it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's ability checks you roll under, saving throws you roll over. Kind of weird, I understand, but
I can see why they updated the rules to be XD&D.
what? No.
Not that I'm not having fun. I'm having a great time. I'm just making fun.
You are hit by this torrent of wind and thrown off of the mast.
No. I must be like 30 feet up, right? If not higher.
You might be, maybe not that high. Might be 20.
Okay, 20 feet up.
How many hit points you got?
I've got 5 hit points.
Oh, okay.
Go, nimble elf.
Yep.
Elves always land on their feet, so you're like gonna break both your ankles, right?
Yeah.
So you everybody else just sees Thornwell thrown from the top of the mast and falls down maybe near the steering wheel with a crunch.
Ooh.
You have 1 hit point left.
Ooh.
I managed to roll just low enough to not kill you. But man, you've been better. You've been better.
Been better.
And with that, one of the sailors who has been coerced by Wild Engineer's other character, shouts above the storm, "There! I see a break!" And the Michaela's other character, can't remember any of your retainers' names. I apologize. Elson. Turns the wheel, and the ship heads towards this breach, narrowly making it through out of the heavy storm. And it's so weird. You guys basically crest a wave, and in an instant, with another flash of lightning, the storm just passes. The sky still looms dark, but you see stars between the breaking clouds, and the seas seem quite calm here. When you look back behind you, the storm is still raging. It's as if it's just very localized. And the danger is past. You finally have a chance to catch your breath.
Just gonna splash some of the blood off of my daggers, wipe it off on somebody's shirt.
Thornwell takes a big breath in and realizes he probably has 4 cracked ribs.
Mm.
Gonna be okay. Just walk it off.
Randall's like, my clothes, I'm all wet. Why? Then he looks at you, Molly, and he's like, you were supposed to protect me. Why?
Where's Draga, the first mate, now captain?
She is climbing down, and she says, she's sort of breathing heavily, and she's like, oh, well, it looks like the Emerald Keel is still in one piece. She pats the rail. And we've made it through. Should be to the to Histack by morning. And she looks over at the bodies of the mutineers and some of the crew members. She just sort of spits. And she says, take whatever you want off these mutinous dogs.
Yay! I will go for it. Mallory's into it.
Cool. We are rolling on the treasure tables.
Hey, treasure.
Womp, womp, womp. Okay, remind me. We have 5 technically right now. So we have Thornwell, Randall, your other retainer,
Mole, yeah.
mm-hmm, and Mallory and the other retainer and Michaela's other retainer. So we've got 5 characters right now on deck. So this treasure is divided between the 5 of them for purposes of experience, and that will be relevant. Searching through the bodies of one of the men still on deck, you find, let's see, 1,150 gold pieces. I know it's a lot for one person to carry, but listen, I'm just rolling on the treasure tables. What?
Is this just like total?
It's usually assumed that this goes towards the group, or I should say experience goes towards the group, and GP equals experience in BX. So experience gets divided up equally, but whoever wants to take the actual cash, if you don't want to divide it between the other people, you could argue that out amongst yourselves.
Okay. So can you repeat the number? Sorry.
1,150 gold pieces. Technically,
Nice.
it's a combination of copper and gold, but I'm just gonna, truncate it for you. So, Mallory, you search that guy. Would we like to have someone else searching one of the other 2 bodies that we've got?
Yeah, Randall would
Okay, Randall.
use his foot to root around.
You search. This guy had... Ooh, this guy had a lot of stuff. Okay, this guy has 2,000 gold pieces, but also a bunch of gemstones on him. So specifically, he has moonstones, or a moonstone, get ready to write this down, a moonstone, a banded agate, an amber gemstone, an obsidian gemstone, and a blue quartz gemstone. And together, these are going to equal about 1,200 gold pieces of value. I would say just divide that value equally.
You said 1,250. Okay.
Yep. And he also had on him a scroll and an unbroken potion bottle.
Scroll and potion bottle.
Yes. Until you read magic on that scroll, you don't know what it is, but the potion bottle, you also don't know what it is, but I can describe it to you. Let's see if I can find my potion table.
I have a question also.
Sure. Hold on one second. This potion is a bubbly teal liquid. So write that down in your inventory. And let's see. Michaela, what was your question?
Do we get experience points for the value of the gems as well?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So it's
Cool.
any non-magical items, their value in gold also counts towards total experience. And who's searching the 3rd body?
I think Thornwell is a little too hurt to search around. He's probably trying to but I do have my 3rd character. Is he running around or is he not here?
I was gonna say he probably isn't here. I was giving you one retainer each.
That sounds great.
Elson can check the body.
Sure. This one has some really nice rings. So let's see here. They have a silver goblet. They've got 3 golden rings. They've got a medallion. And they just generally had some gold on them. So this is a total value of, I think, 4,000 gold pieces.
Dang. And that includes the gold on them?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say they had 1,000 gold on them, and then 3,000 gold worth of, jewelry stuff. I can also tell you the experience that you got from fighting those guys, but it's not going to be nearly as impressive as the numbers I just gave you. So we, for experience, are looking at... I know I have a little thingy for this. Of course, it pops up in my main window and not on my second monitor. Thanks. Let's see here. Those monsters each had 1 hit die. No special abilities. So you guys get a total of 60 XP each for those baddies. And if any of you have the ability adjust bonus, you get to add that, which I think is what, like 10% extra, something like that?
Mine's 5%.
Okay.
Okay.
5% extra.
I did calculate the experience points from monies, and that's 1670 per person.
1670 per person?
Yeah, plus 60 for the bad guys.
Cool. So each character gets 16, 1670.
1730.
Or 1730? Is it 1670 plus 60?
Yeah.
Oh.
1730.
1730. Has anyone leveled
That's
up?
crazy. I don't know. Now we're gonna look at the level up table.
I think
Yeah.
elves level up kind of slow, so you may not have.
I might have leveled up, actually.
Okay, so with my 5% bonus, I got 16.5 experience. Should I round that down or up?
Round it up.
Okay.
Okay, 4,000 to get to level 2. But the 10%, so the 10% XP bonus, I don't think I get that actually as an elf because you have to have 2. Yeah, prime requisite is intelligence and strength. And just my intelligence. Okay. You must have at least a 13 in both to get a 5. Okay, so I don't get that.
All right.
We're learning things, guys.
Learning how to play the system as we go.
I leveled up.
Oh, good job.
Oh yeah, because you have a thief. Thieves level up faster than everyone else.
So close.
So close.
Okay. Gotta figure out what to change here. I'll work on this. I'll let you know if I have questions.
Cool. You guys are able to sail calmly through the rest of the night. I mean, it's probably, gosh, it was midnight around when this whole thing happened.
Can Thornwell ask Draga, like, what caused the mutiny? What caused the mutiny? All right, I'm really hurt. What caused the mutiny?
Very nice. Good, excellent role playing. A+.
I'm trying.
So, Draga says, well, when we took you on to go to Histack, some of the crew members didn't want to go to the Bright Lands because they said that it was cursed, that the trader's influence had some sort of magical barrier. I didn't believe it, but that storm sort of proved me otherwise.
Think the people of you said Histert?
Histack.
Histack. Do you think the people of Histack are fearful of outsiders then, to keep such a barrier to keep outsiders?
No, I don't think so. It looks like from what I heard, from what last I heard, there hasn't been much communication with the city, but the trader has been taking over most of the Bright Lands. Hadn't yet conquered Histack, so I've been told, but who knows? Might have fallen by now. If that was indeed his spell, he obviously doesn't want anyone getting into the Bright Lands.
Well, we sure proved him wrong. The old sturdy boat. Taps the boat.
So a plank of wood just falls off.
Old reliable.
The Emerald Keel, holding together.
I think Randall is going to try and see what the scroll is.
Sure. Let me find out what the scroll is. So that's a scroll. There are, let's see here, number of spells per level. There's roughly 12 spells per level in this ding dong game. I'm gonna figure out what level it is real quick, and then I'll have you roll which spell it is. Okay. So, yeah, give me a, if you have a D12 on you, because I believe there are 12 spells. So yeah, just give me a D12 roll.
I have one in here somewhere. Aha. 9.
9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, very cool. This is a scroll of shield.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, that'll be useful. Shield creates an invisible field of force that protects the caster, granting an AC of... okay, so it says an AC of 2 against missile attacks and an AC of 4 against other attacks, but this is using descending AC, so that's not technically what it's going to do. It lasts for 2 turns, which we're going to get into that in a minute. But let's see here if it's an AC of 2. I think... that's giving you AC of 16 against missile attacks, AC of 14 against melee attacks. Yes. So yeah, that would give you an AC of 16 against missile and 4 against melee for the duration of the spell. And yeah, 2 turns, which in BX, a turn is not your turn. A turn is 10 minutes. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Time is, I don't know why they called it that. This is a bad naming convention, but it means that spell's duration is 20 minutes.
Stay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So for scrolls and things like that, when we find them, you need to be able to read magic to do it, or anyone who can use magic can read a scroll, right?
I think if you're an elf or a magic user, or sometimes thieves can learn to read scrolls at higher levels, I think. Don't quote me on that. You can read the scroll, so yeah, so you can definitely read the scroll. Read magic, caster can decipher spells. I have the spell right in front of me. If you have that, the magical script of a scroll of arcane spells can be understood. The caster is then able to activate the scroll at any time in the future. I guess you do need read magic to read the scroll. You can also read spell books with it. I'm sorry, Michaela, continue.
Yep. Thieves can read languages, sometimes if it's non-magical text after 4th level. Like, sometimes we might know the language, but my character specifically is not very literate.
Uh-oh. So, let's say that you guys... yeah, I'm going to say for the time being that you need read magic to decipher that scroll, or to figure out what's on it.
Okay.
I might change my mind on that later when I've had a little more time to look at magic user. But yeah, so you know what's on that scroll. You have a scroll shield. You can use it whenever you want.
It makes me somewhat viable.
Yeah, there you go. And you have that potion. Quick note on potions for BX. The technical rule for BX is actually nicer than the rule I have for potions, which is you can give it a sip and then you know what it is. The way I want to rule it is I give you a description of what the potion is, which is a hint as to what the potion does, but you have to actually down it to activate the potion's effect and to find out what it is. So what did I say? You had a bubbly teal liquid?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's carbonated. Magically carbonated. So we are at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going until 6. I think this is probably a good time to take a break, 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be back here and continuing the adventure of the Seekers of the Scorpion Crown.
Yay!
Yay!
See you guys in a few.
All right.
Oh, hold on. I think my desktop audio is still on. The audio back up. Oh, we're back. I gotta start up my music again. Let's go with...
And we're back.
Oh, I forgot that my tablet that I was monitoring the thing on had its audio up. And that's bad, because then it just started making noise next to me. Okay, so... hey, viewers, if you're here, if you're still here, thanks for still being here. I appreciate it. This is Seekers of the Scorpion Crown on the Greyhawk channel, and we are back for the second half of our first session. So, in the first half of the session, what happened? There was a mutiny on board the Emerald Keel, the galleon that was transporting our heroes and their friends to lots of cats on lots of cats. It was transporting our heroes and their friends to the city of Histak. For what reason? We haven't gotten into that yet. We're gonna have to find out. But the mutiny was short-lived, as it happened during a raging hurricane-like storm. The heroes managed to defeat the mutinous sailors and navigate the ship through the rest of the maelstrom. And now let's see, you got some gold, you got some experience, you went to bed, you healed 1d3 hit points.
Ooh, I heal 1d3. Ooh, I heal 3.
Wow, look at you. And as you awake the next morning, let me let you know what you see. If I can find that gosh dang document.
We're still on the boat, or no?
You are, but let me see. As dawn breaks, the first rays of the sun catch a glimmer on the horizon. Domed towers behind great walls rise up out of the darkness before you. You can make out the opening of a welcome harbor alive with the bustle of ships. A distant bell tower sounds. This must be Histak, the last free city in all the Brightlands. And the boat pulls into harbor. Anything you want to say or do before you reach your port of entry?
I will probably distribute all of my new loot across different pockets and see if I could talk Thornwell into giving me that cool, like, blue quartz.
That what? Sorry?
The blue quartz.
Blue quartz? Yeah. Are you interested in blue quartz for a specific reason?
You know, just I like to have some different gems and stuff, and that one's real pretty, so
Well,
it's a good sign where I come from.
I did not know that I had this blue quartz, to be honest, but I will hand it
I
over.
think I'm
if I
the
do.
one.
Yeah, I think Randall has
you're
it.
the
So
one.
there you go.
Randall, then never mind. Forget you, Thornwell.
And I'm like, oh, well, it was nice talking to you.
yeah, bye.
Great. Yeah.
Thornwell was cool for a hot second.
Only one. Like, I've been picking you up off the side of this boat the entire trip, mostly. It's like, wah, wah. And then now just every time I see you, my back hurts. Like, how's your ribs?
Much better. The magical healing of my race brought me to near full health.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is magical.
We're all part of a group together, correct?
Mhm.
DM. Okay. So, just making sure we're all working together. We're not like expecting to go our separate ways once we get to Histak. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Didn't you read the prep document? Come on. The Draga, as you pull into harbor and drop anchor, she's just like, well, I'm gonna have to hire more crew, but you're here. Now please get off my boat and never step foot on it again.
Good luck with your repairs, and I wish that you have a safe journey away from Histak.
She looks over at the horizon, and you can see on the horizon just these angry storm clouds. She's just like,
I think Randall's like, are you sure you don't want to join us? You're really strong.
It's like, no, thank you. As she looks out into the city and like with what I've heard about the Bright Desert, I'd take my chances going back through that storm.
Wait, so that the storm was easy?
It just kind of turns away from you.
Oh no. He just runs
Oh my
over.
God.
When the gangplank goes down, you see there's a throng of people out in the harbor standing there, and they seem to have been waiting for the ship to dock. They're olive skin to maybe a little darker complexions, dark facial hair and regular hair, and usually wearing light, breezier clothes, some turbaned, some not. And these people, a lot of them actually look like they're armed and armored, although not heavily, and they certainly don't look like they're about to attack you. They just happen to be carrying. But when the ship docks, there's this initial surge of people as they come towards the gangplank, just as you guys are getting off.
Seems that we have strangers among us, as I'm not from this land, but shall we disembark?
I mean, are we supposed to meet up with anyone in particular? Or do we just try to figure out where the hell we're supposed to go?
Well, does anyone really know their way around here? Because I feel like making sure we have like a map, a navigation.
Sounds like we need to hire a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably be for the best.
Right.
I scan around. Is there anybody that's like some young child, perhaps, that knows the city?
There's not any young children. You do not see any of them. But like I said, there's a large group of people who are surging towards the gangplank. And as you're having this conversation, they've gotten there. And they're all trying to get onto the ship. And you hear snippets of conversation of them being like, oh, you made it through the storm. That means you can make it back through the storm. Let us out of here. We need to leave.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, yeah, this isn't our ship. I don't think you can just go running on random ships, folks. I mean,
Where's our money?
they're trying to get on, and Draga puts a stop to that. she slams down her boot, sort of causing some of the people to like fall back a little bit, and she just says, listen, you need to all form an orderly line leading up to the gangplank if you want to leave this city. And they're just like, okay, all right, and they just start lining up. Clearly these people want to get on the ship. They want to get out of here.
You know, that's one of the persons in the line. Like, so why do so many people want to leave right now? I mean, what's going on?
The guy just looks at you and he's just like, are you mad?
No.
we're not from here. We just came through the storm. I mean, clearly we don't know what's going on. You've been isolated.
Yeah. He's just like, well, you can you don't want to be in this city too much longer. I mean, you go to the city walls and see for yourself. And then he just tries to push past you towards the ship.
How far away from the city walls to see out into the...
You could go off. So right now you're in the harbor and there's like an open area there, which leads into some streets. It'd take a little bit of walking to get up to one of the city walls, but you could probably like just there. You can see even from here there are like switchback stairs that go up the walls in several places. So if you'd like to approach there, you can. Oh, I have more flavor text. I didn't even realize. Look at all this writing I've done.
Do it. I love flavor text.
As you step off the ship, you see that beyond the harbor lies a city of packed masonry. Blocky, flat-roofed 2 or 3 story buildings interlock with each other to form twisting alleys and angular boulevards. Geometric patterns of triangles, hexagons, and stars play out across brilliantly tiled walls of these buildings. Drying laundry sags from lines between second-story windows or horseshoe-shaped arches. The occasional minaret rises up between the streets, displaying its intricate latticework for all to see. The sound of ouds and darburka mingle with the shouts of street vendors. Their fresh breads, hearty soups, spelled hearty wrong, and sweet fruit invade your nostrils. So this is what you are hit with as you step out into the sort of main area.
So aside from the people trying to get on the boat, there is a healthy amount of people that are still trying to sell things and live in this
Seems that way,
town.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Are we gonna make our way into the town?
Should we try and find a guide first, or I mean, or do you wanna split up and then meet back here, or like at that restaurant or something?
If we just meet at this restaurant at 8. Remember, everybody.
We're parked in the itchy section. No, sorry. I would like to go to the tower wall if you two will join me and I would like to see on the horizon what the people are so scared of before we make our way into the city.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll join you.
Okay. I'll lead the charge through the people and kind of push my way around.
Sure. I mean, they you get some looks from them, like you have 2 heads. Like, why the hell are you going away from the ship? But none of them are going to stop you. And as you make your way into the city streets, street vendors. There's so many of them. They want to sell you stuff. You just got off this boat. There's a mustachioed man who's just who's like holding up this bowl to you as you're walking by, and he's like, Bissara soup, only 3 coppers. And then another guy is just like, Tangine, trying to get you to eat that. Tangine, I just stewed it myself. And it's just, man, they are trying to sell you this food, and they are not leaving you alone as you push through this sort of busy street.
Is there anyone who seems to be like random like trinkets and stuff, like, or are they just like?
Here it's a lot of food. There are some shops that you see out of the corner of your eye that look like craftsman type stuff. You definitely spot a blacksmith and some probably, yeah, you could probably find a stall that does like some jewelry type stuff.
I approach this soup vendor.
Sure.
I'm like, sir, mustachioed man, I like the cut of your jib. I am a vegetarian, though. Do you have anything without meat in it?
For you, I got exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. Here, and he reaches around. He has this big, like, clay pot that's, like, got a little cook fire under it. It's, like, bubbling. And he takes this ladle and scoops it out. And he just spoons it into this bowl, and it's just this, like, thick, like, brown soup. And he's like, fava beans, here, take it. And then he takes out, and then as he's handing it to you, he, with his other hand, he just takes out this little, like, not like a teapot, but like kind of like that, and he just starts pouring like olive oil all over the top of it.
Oh, delicious. Is this, and what would you call this besides fava beans?
Bissara soup, the heart It'll keep you full all day. So hearty, so good for you. Really give you really strengthen your gut. And he just like slaps his belly.
I take a cautious bite of this as I'm like kind of staring at him because I'm curious about how much oil he put on it.
So he put a lot of oil on the elbow on that. But so this is there's like a wooden spoon with it. You take a little sip. Or no, I'm sorry, there isn't a wooden spoon with it. So you just gotta sip it out of the bowl.
Okay.
And it's like fava beans, obviously olive oil, but you taste like garlic and lemon in it too. It's like a really good like hearty soup. And it's got like a little bit of a kick to it. But as soon as he sees you like slurping out of the bowl, he's like, no, and he just stops you. And he's like, no. Yeah, and he just hands you this like pita bread. He's like, you eat it with, you dip the bread, and he just starts tearing off a piece of the bread and like miming dipping it as he's like pushing the bread into your hands.
And I'm gonna like mess with him and take the bread and like this without like dipping it first, just to see if he gets like really upset.
He's like, no, elves, they're all the same. No, it's you dip it.
Oh, in the okay, yes, and I start eating it correctly, and it's very good. I'm very like, and I tell him that I'm like, thank you, this is delicious. Actually, I think this will keep me full all day.
Yes, but keep you. Oh, yes, and he just sort of starts tapping his gut again. And he says, tell all your friends, come over here, buy this Basara. It's the best in all of Histak.
Guys, I think I found the best in all of Histak. You guys want some of this soup?
While you're turned away, bread? He starts pouring more olive oil on it.
And Randall's like, are you really eating soup right now?
No,
Gotta eat sometime.
We're in the middle of the street. It's soup.
What? Have you never eaten on the street before? Where do you
sure, but not soup. I mean, I'll get some, like maybe some chicken or like fowl tart types. Maybe like they have like things on sticks, skewers, right?
No.
There's a guy who's trying to force this.
Have you ever heard of those?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you folks ever heard of a Hot Pocket?
No one seems to understand what that
What?
is.
Shaking my head. I don't.
No, my pocket's full of cold metal.
Well, I'll teach you. You. And I'll point to this bizarre salesman. Do you know what a Hot Pocket is?
And the soup guy.
Yeah.
The soup guy is just like, well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And he pokes one of the other people, and he's like, Mohammed, they want Missamen. They want Missamen. And then the other guy wheels around and he's like, Missamen. he just starts going right at you, and he has he's got this thing that he's shoving towards you that's rolled up, kind of like a Hot Pocket a little bit. It's funny that there is actually a street food that I wrote into this that's kind of like that.
Yeah.
He has this thing. It's kind of like a Hot Pocket. It's rolled up. It's some sort of fried bread. And you can see like oozing out from between like these knife cuts in it is just melted butter and honey.
Oh, yeah, I'll take 5.
It's like, best customer. And he turns to the soup guy. It's like, you see these foreigners, they come to Histak, best customers ever. And he just starts handing you the all of this Missamen. So I would say, it'd be like a gold or a couple of gold. It's not, you guys have plenty of money, so you don't have to worry too much about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Randall's gonna look for a guy who has like either some sort of bird type or something on meat on a skewer type thing.
Sure. If you look around, there's a bunch of people selling fruits. There's that you don't find any meat on skewers, but you do find this this kind of like this stew type thing that comes in like a shallow bowl, and it has chicken or beef on the bottom of it, and then potato, zucchini, and tomato on top, and it's kind of like a little pile, and then they like put a bunch of sauce and spices all over it.
Yeah, he's totally getting that.
All right, so the guy's like, yes, here, have as much tagine as you want. Here, yeah, you pay. Excellent. And he's just, so all these people, they also seem to sense that you have a lot of money, and they're just shoving food at you as long as you're paying. The guy who's handing you this little stew bowl thing takes out like a little teapot and is pouring like this odd colored like amber water all over it, and he's just like looks at it and looks at you and just nods, and he pours more on. And yeah, so you guys got a lot of street food.
Yep. We noticed that some people were trying to leave Histect. Is there something going on that would cause people to leave? You seem like you're in such good spirits compared to the people that we saw at the docks.
Those are mostly the Elnar. They're not welcome in the Brightlands anymore, unfortunately.
Ooh, why is that?
Well, that wizard came in, I don't know, 10 years ago. Came in, started just conquering everything. But Kamuk,
with an army? I mean, he's just one man.
Powerful magic this guy has. Also, there was some other guy with him. Shiny armor, strong guy. I don't know. Inspired a lot of terror, I suppose. Came in, just started getting a bunch of nomadic tribes to their side. Got the. Let's see if Lex, the DM, can remember the names of all of the different NPC organizations. The NPC says the Tukim, or the Tukim, I think. Wizard won over the Tukim. From there, just a lot of bloody battles, but the Elnar tribes couldn't stand up to him. Kamuk, and he sort of gestures towards like farther into the city. The Kamuk, he managed to keep Histec neutral, but well, that's about to end.
Really? You're being taken over, or did you win the war against this wizard?
Well, we're about to be taken over, but it's all customers for me. It doesn't matter to me.
And I slap him on the back. Good man. He's like, way to stay positive in a dark situation.
You have more Basara. You'll be great. He just starts shoving more soup like your
No, I'm good. I'm quite full. I have a limited elf diet. So
how you? He looks at like your bruise. He's like, how are you gonna heal if you don't eat more Basara? And he just starts.
Wait. Are we walking to the middle of a war? I thought the wars were over. Oh no.
I think it'll be fine, Randall. You just need to. Calm down. Question.
Yes.
What is the appearance of the people here? Like the locals? Like, what is their garb?
Dressed very similarly to the people you saw in the port. So it's a lot of like loose, light fabrics. If you know what a kaftan is, a lot of people are wearing that. Yeah. So it's this sort of it's kind of like a dress for men, I guess, sort of, because it's got sleeves, and they usually have like a collar of some sort, and then from like the waist down, it's just like a skirt type thing. So yeah, a lot of people dressed that way. A couple fezzes, and a lot.
So me and my leather armor stand out pretty awful.
Yeah. Oh, you also, I will point out, anyone who's wearing any kind of armor, but especially mail or plate armor, are kind of uncomfortable because it's really hot. It's not horrible. You can walk around the city. You're gonna be fine. But it's like not comfortable.
Yeah, I'll probably take Elson by the hand and ask where we can go find some new outfits for this land.
Shopping episode.
Shopping episode.
Episode 1. I'm doing it.
And he says, yeah, the guy, if you ask one of the vendors, they can point you toward a tailor.
Okay. And we don't have to do like a whole montage if you just want to like tell me how it goes kind of thing.
Yeah, let's say that your character is off to do that.
Okay.
We know that Thornwell wanted to go to the walls. And is Randall doing anything in particular?
I mean, he'd probably, let's see, he's torn right now. He'll probably join Thornwell to the wall, but if he sees any shops that look magical, he'll probably just run off to do its own thing.
Sure. I will point out that you do, as you're making your way towards the walls and dodging more street food, because they just keep wanting to. And once people see that you've bought some of it, they just are like, "Oh, you got money, you can buy more." And you notice an alchemy shop. So if you want to stop there.
Yes, definitely.
So you're going to stop at the alchemy shop. Thornwell's going to head toward the wall. Thornwell, you get to the wall. And you...
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And like I said, there's a switchback stair. There's nobody guarding it or anything, although you have seen some... Actually, no, you probably haven't seen any militia around. So you can go ahead and climb if you want. They're pretty high, very, very sturdy, like well-reinforced stone walls.
Yeah, I'd like to climb up to the top because my goal is to get like a vantage point to kind of see this desert area.
Sure. All right, you climb a little more. As you crest the wall, you see them. 10,000 warriors, adorned with keffiyeh and kaftan, scimitar and shield, standing at attention, their discipline unwavering in the desert heat. Some hold aloft their standard, a gauntlet grasping a crescent moon. A man rides through the ranks, his plate armor and the armor of his mount catch the sun, like a point of light cutting through a field of cloth. Beyond them is only the desert, an endless sea of dunes.
Are they facing us?
Yes.
Like they're going to attack Hisek?
Not like they're not gonna attack immediately. They're just standing at attention. But there's an army of 10,000 warriors standing outside the walls of this city.
All right. If I know where Randall and Mallory are at that alchemist shop, I'll probably head back down that way to relay this information.
Sure. There's Randall. You enter this alchemist shop. There is a woman working there. She has a number of different mixtures, and she greets you and says, she looks at you. She kind of looks that you're like a little roughed up, and she's like, healing poultice, something like that for you?
Yes, that would be great. Anything that could help heal or help with the heat, maybe.
The heat. Let me check. Here, this is what I have for healing, and she sort of directs your attention towards this assortment of things, which is some poultices, some weird like brown goop that I guess you're supposed to rub on your wounds or something, and a couple of potions that are like crimson red potions. And she's sort of weeding around under her desk looking for something. after a few moments, her head pops up, and she says, "No, nothing for the heat. I think I've been cleaned out of that."
Oh, okay. Maybe you could tell me what this is. I'll show her the bubbly potion.
She looks at it and she says, "Very interesting. Huh." So turning it over. Hold on a moment. And she puts it down on the counter, and then she goes into the back, comes out with a book, and slams it down, and just sort of looks at the potion again, and looks at the book, and then flips some pages, and then looks at the potion again, and then looks at the book, and just sort of does the thing where she goes down a bunch of lines, and then she's like, no, and she flips some pages, and she looks at the potion again, and she looks at the book, and goes down a couple of lines, she's like, "Flying." She puts it down in front of you.
What? Yeah, like a bird? Flying?
Yes, flying like a bird, like the magic of flight.
Oh.
Yeah, and she looks, she sees you have a spell book. She's like, "You understand magic?"
Yes, and that's incredibly dangerous. Oh my.
If you would you be willing to sell it?
I should probably keep it for now, just in case. But do you have other magic stuff? Like,
oh, I don't even. And she eyes that flying potion a little bit, and she's just like, I couldn't even make something like that. But I have 3 potions of healing. They will magically repair your wounds. Most of my other stuff is medicinal. The poultices, they'll make you heal a little faster, get rid of snake venom, scorpion venom, things like that.
Ooh. Okay, I'll take your potions and poultices then. That sounds good. How much gold do you need?
And she looks over. She's like, "Well, you want maybe 1 each of the antitoxins?"
Yes.
All right, and the healing potions. Hold on. And she pulls out a book from like beneath the counter, and then she like looks at the stuff, and she's like, and she flips some pages, and she's like, "Okay, 1,000 gold."
Ooh. Okay. 1,000 gold. Here you go. Don't even ask me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys have so much gold. This is like not a big deal for you at all. But you hand over 1,000 gold, so you get a snake venom poultice. You get a scorpion venom poultice, and you get 2 potions of healing. And what other? No. Have another scorpion venom poultice. Oh, and I'm sorry. Also, a general healing poultice, which she tells you, if applied to wounds, it allows you to heal, like when you, as we just learned when Jordan rested on the ship, you roll +2 for that night of rest. So it would be 1d3 +2 instead of just 1d3 healing.
Okay.
And for that, I give you like 3 uses. There's like enough of that gunk.
Great.
Keeping us healed. All right.
And she says, you notice, one of the things you notice about the shop is there actually isn't that much stuff in there. And she says, I'm glad you're lucky you came in when you did. I was about to pack up.
Pack up for where?
Well, I hear there's a ship here. I need to get out of here.
Wait, you're leaving too? Is everybody leaving? Oh no.
Listen, the Archmage's forces are going to come in. Some of the locals think that he'll be nice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to retcon that. She is also a local, so she wouldn't say it that way. But some of the people around here think he's just going to keep things running the same way they were. I mean, his tack was a neutral city for a long time. I don't believe it. I think there's a good chance he razes this place to the ground, and I'm not going to be around to find out.
Oh, well, that's troubling indeed. Oh my. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. This is definitely going to be enough for passage on that ship and get me started somewhere else.
Yeah, I think you just run out and see if we could find the rest of the group.
All right, Michaela, I don't have a good idea of how to roleplay the tailor with you. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
But you can buy clothes for the group or just yourself if you want.
Okay.
And they're in the style, they have lots of like interesting, especially if you're spending a little more money, they have like nice embroidery on them. They're basically the kind of clothes in the real world you'd see someone wearing in Morocco or maybe Egypt, maybe Jordan. Like a lot of like North African kind of thing.
Cool. So I want to get something nicer for Elrond. Who's Elrond? Elson would like to get some nice clothes with some fine embroidery, and maybe like 2 sets. And Mallory just wants something really bland and basic, not fancy at all.
Sure. All of this stuff is pretty practical, or at least more practical than the clothes that you had. You guys came from the south, but not from a desert. Yeah, it's just these clothes are a lot breezier. They sort of take to the heat better.
Yeah. So, what's the price range here?
Probably like not that much. I'd say like if you're buying regular clothes and then also some really nice clothes, it's probably going to be like 100 gold total. So it would be like 10 or 20 for the regular clothes and then the rest for the nice clothes.
Sounds good.
See, I thought ahead. Quick DM side tip. I thought ahead and I was like, I know how much money they're going to get from the treasure table for fighting the monsters. So I'm not really going to bother to price out a lot of stuff in the city because I know they're just going to be able to afford it.
For lots of things. That's totally smart.
But yeah, so you can get all new wardrobe. Looks good.
I'm not going to get stuff for the rest of the group. Because, well, wait, did any of them, Jordan and Wild, did you or your retainers have metal armor? Or were you just in like leather and cloth?
Yeah, my retainer did have metal armor and he sank to the bottom of the ocean. Thank you very much for bringing it up.
Yikes.
Yeah, my retainer does have metal armor, but he's kind of crazy and he doesn't care.
Okay, well, if you look totally fine, then yeah, I'm not worrying about it.
All right. Oh, you know what? The tailor will ask you, like, just making chit chat while you're picking out stuff. This guy might ask you, hey, so how long are you going to be in his tech?
You know, I'm not really sure. We're just traveling through. Kind of just wanted to, like, find someone who knows more about this land and, see what's up.
Well, if you're going to travel the Bright Desert, you're going to need camels, probably. There's some people by the gates, sell them, assuming they haven't left town. And if you want to find someone who knows the area, I would try. He thinks to himself for a moment, and then the DM thinks to himself for a moment. If I can find the freaking thing that I wrote down, there it is. Here we go. I would try the Coiled Viper. It's an inn over near the center.
Okay.
Town.
Cool. And should we stock up on water or any provisions for the travels? Where can we do that?
Usually the people that sell the camels will be able to outfit you with provisions, but you'll definitely want water, as much as you can carry.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. This has been very informative.
And the guy's just like, good luck. Good luck. And he kind of has this smile to him that's kind of like, oh, you're not going to be alive in a few days. It's fine. I got your money. See ya.
And I will pull out a gold coin and set it on the counter just in front of me. Not in front of him, just
Okay.
in front of me. Be like, so is there anything else you can tell me about this place?
Roll me a charisma ability check.
Okay. Ooh. I got a 1.
You got a 1. Ooh, the best you can get on an ability check.
Yeah.
He sort of looks around and he grabs it and he puts his hand over on the coin and slides it toward him. And he just says, well, if you want to leave the city, I wouldn't go by that army. They'll probably cut you down. I don't think the wizard wants anybody in the desert. He's looking for something out there. And I've seen a few people around. There might be some people at the Coiled Viper that could sneak you out. But it's be careful who you trust, I guess.
All right. Well, thanks. And
Oh, and he also, as you start to go, grabs your hand and he's like, and if you could, if I know you have weapons, you can fight, but if you can convince Kamuk to, I don't know, give those soldiers gold or something, I don't want them to sack the city.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's something really I could do. I mean, I'm just a traveler. Just got a sword and a spear, but not like a political figure.
He's just like, no, I guess it was a long shot. I'm just worried.
Oh yeah. I can see why. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Good luck. Hopefully you don't die.
Sort of smiles
Maybe
weakly
yourself
at
one
you.
of these.
All right, at this point, you have all met back up at the restaurant. It's 2:00. You've met back at the restaurant. No, it's probably some like cafe or something. There's a lot of those around here. These sort of like open air cafes that sell like tea and things. You guys, yeah, they have like this like sweet mint tea, and a lot of the people there are just sort of hanging around outside on like patio tables and stuff, drinking that and like playing dice and stuff. A lot of old wrinkly guys just playing dice and drinking tea. But all of you meet back up there.
Big army. And on the other side, I went to the wall, and it's just, I mean, unsullied as far as the eye can see. And it's just awful. And I think we might be way in over our heads, guys. I'm starting to think we go back on that boat. I don't know.
You know, I talked to some people when we went shopping, and they were suggesting that I go try to convince the city to pay off the soldiers out there. I don't know. Do any of you feel qualified to do that? Because I kind of like the idea of getting out of here. I have some tips that might help us, but I don't think we should say.
I don't know. I mean, it would be nice if there's a city to come back to. But, you know, I'm pretty sure we do need to get out there because they're going to destroy this place.
They're totally going to destroy this place. So maybe we can find some people to help us sneak out and get some provisions and just kind of circumvent that. And we're not taking on 10,000 soldiers right now. That's bonkers. What do you guys think?
And should we at least try and talk to this guy, or should we just try and get out of here before all this happens?
I'd rather save my ass. I don't know. Elson is pretty disapproving at Mallory, but he is suggesting we try to talk to the leaders. I'm role-playing 2 characters that are not on the same page right now.
Should have had one of them die. You wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you hadn't rolled so well.
What do you think going well? What do you want to do?
I think we should leave, if possible. We should gather some provisions. Obviously, going out the front gate is not an option, but if there maybe some seedier ways of getting out of the city, I'm not entirely sure. It's a big army. There's a lot of people coming into this town, and they didn't look like they wanted to be talked to, especially from outsiders. But
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we should probably I'd rather not be here when this all starts to happen. And Emol's like, well, whatever lets me cause the most havoc, that's what I'll do.
I really like that both of you with your 2 characters are just the polar opposites of each other.
It's so
I
great.
love it.
Well, I know just the place for CD. It's called the Coiled Viper, and they've got guides and some sneakier types, so that might be a good start on figuring out our next step. We're gonna need camels. We're gonna need water. You guys are probably gonna die in your like hot clothes, but I'm super styling now, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, you do notice that these 2 members of
sweat.
your group showed back up and they're just dressed totally differently.
You do look very nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, those are definitely close. Yes.
They are clothes. I prefer bland. I don't want to look nice. So
Everyone makes choices. Yes.
think about this. Think about the words you use.
What? Emol, you're supposed to step in front of me.
All right.
Okay.
So the 5 of you are going to head to the Coiled Viper then?
I believe so.
All right. On your way, you see a procession of, and this is sort of like the next street over. You don't actually run into it, but you see a procession of warriors on horseback walking towards where the gate is. One of them looks very important.
Are they wearing the same armor as the soldiers on the other side of the gate?
No,
or-
they're not.
No.
They're
Okay.
actually not really wearing unified like colors or armor, anything like that. It's more that they are just well armed and they look like they know how to use their weapons.
Got it.
But there's one that looks really important and has like nicer clothes on, and probably like 4 other warriors with them, and they're making their way towards the main gate. And you're kind of looking at that as you're walking down, and then suddenly this person just slams into Elson, almost knocks them over, wheels around, and you just see this this sort of like middle-aged mousy woman. She's dressed mostly in rags, and she just has a handful of these kind of like pear-shaped fruits, sort of kind of look like pears. They're like red and green. She has a handful of them, and she drops them. She's like, oh, no, and she picks them all up, and then she gathers them, and she looks at you, and she just starts to run away. And I mean, she probably does run away. And you hear this guy is running up behind, following her, saying, thief!
Elson will kind of turn around and like try to see what the guy looks like. Does he look like a vendor or something?
He does. You actually might recognize him from earlier. He was trying to get you to buy fruit.
Okay.
But he just yells, like, my pears! My pears! She's stolen them! And he yells some other words. Abuntia, I believe, is something you hear. You don't know what it means.
Okay. Elson says, excuse me. She stole them. She probably needed them. So what was the cost of these pears?
So the first line, she stole them, she probably needed them, and the guy wheels at you and he like looks angry. And then when he says, "What's the cost?" When Elson says, "What's the cost?" the guy looks at Elson and looks at Elson's dressed really well, and the guy's just like, "Oh, yeah," and he thinks to himself, and he's just, five gold for that many of my pears, 5 gold.
What is the version of insight checks in this game?
Here's the thing. There isn't one, and I'm not letting you have it. You're gonna have to figure it out on your own.
Okay. Cool, I like it. Elson kind of looks shrewdly. And I mean, he's not that bright, but he is wise.
There you go.
He says, I can give you 1 gold.
The guy's just like, all right, 1 gold.
Okay.
And he takes the gold.
Sorry for your losses and the trouble. Here you are.
And the guy sort of just stalks away back to his stall. All right, so you guys continue to head to the Coiled Viper. You make it there. Weaving through the streets, you might get lost once or twice. It's very windy, but you find it. It's a bar, basically. It's very open air, so the walls of it are just these like series of horseshoe arches. It's kind of like if you've seen Casablanca, it's like Rick's Place, basically. And you go in, and there's quite a few people there, and a lot of them look like they're not from around here. They look like they're from different parts of Greyhawk, and a lot of them are sort of sitting sullen, like nursing drinks. There's some people playing cards in the corner, and there's a woman at the bar who is thin, wearing like the kind of clothes you'd expect someone who's like a well-to-do person in the free city of Greyhawk to wear. And she has like short, frizzy hair and a lot of freckles. And you notice her first because she is very drunk. And she's just like, as you're coming in, she's just like, no, you can't cut me off. I'm gonna have whatever that licorice drink is. You give me another one. You're gonna give me 3 other ones right now. She's just like, she's prods at the table. She's like, I got the money, and she just sort of starts like getting these coins out of her pocket. And the guy at the bar is just like, listen, lady, you gotta go home. I can't deal with this right now. I got other customers. Please stop. And it's like a little bit of a scene, but that's what you notice when you first walk in.
What is the time of day?
Oh, it's like 1 in the afternoon.
So she's super sauced in really early. Okay. Yeah, I'll walk up to this lady and kind of grab her by the arm and say, there's no need to make a scene. I mean, you've clearly had enough. You might need to leave the bar.
She whips around and she's like, listen, you... And she actually looks at you. Elf. Listen, I am the most prestigious archaeologist in all of the free city of Greyhawk. I have degrees from at least 2 universities. You can't, and I'll tell you when I've had enough. Get out of here. And she just sort of slaps at your hand.
Oh, there's no need for violence. There's no need for violence. We're just calmly. But if you can we get some do of coffee? Can we get some coffee and maybe sober her up? And I'll buy some coffee for her if possible.
She's like, and she just starts shouting. She's like, "Do you even know who I am? I am Lareth Kingsmill, and I demand respect."
I have nothing but respect for your learned profession, but you need to calm down. And I'm doing everything I can to like hold her arms to keep her from slapping me and things like that.
And she's like, I don't want coffee. They had that licorice, you know, the licorice thing. And she just points at the bartender, and he's like, he's like, yeah, no, it's Arak. It's called Arak, and you definitely can't have any more of it. And she's like, no, your licorice water is. And she just turns back to you, Thornwell, and she's like, I'm ruined. And then she just starts weeping.
And I'm like super awkward about it. I'm just like, there. She needs to go. No coffee. I'll take the coffee. Thank you for bringing.
The guy does bring out some coffee, and he's like, yeah, just keep.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sorry. And I look over to my 2 comrades. I'm like, I got a situation. Maybe, I don't know, can we like get her to a table, maybe in the corner, so that she's not just like bawling in the center? And
she's just like, I was the best. And like, as you sit her down at the table, he's like, I was the best. And then what happens? I can't find the thing. And then so they kill all my men, and I just barely escape. And now who's gonna hire me? Nobody, because I got nothing. I'm a disgrace. I'm ruined.
My ears perk up, and I'm like, what exactly were you looking for?
Oh, it was rubbish. It was some sort of myth. It doesn't exist.
I love a good story. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
You ever heard of the Scorpion Crown?
Maybe.
Well, it's a myth. And then
okay.
And then she's like, where's my licorice water?
And I slide the coffee over. I'm like, try this first. I think it'll make you feel better before you have some more licorice water.
She drinks some of it, and she's just like, this is... what is this? This is gonna bring me down.
Yeah, it's a dark roast, but you'll be fine. It's okay.
Well,
you go ahead.
Nah, she's just making noises.
Okay. We could have use for an archaeologist, perhaps.
Yeah, what? Like, you're gonna get... because there's an army out there. You're gonna kill us.
And how many of your men died in searching for this artifact?
Oh,
or searching for this artifact?
Oh, everyone, every last one. And hey, if we're about to die, and she looks at you sincerely, and she's like, we should not be sober. She's like, I need more licorice water.
I would like to walk up to them at this point, just kind of like quietly creep up behind her, and then just say, like a deadpan expression, they have an army, but we have me. Mallory. The name's Mallory. And I've got lots of money. You should hang out with us.
She's like,
we can buy you so many drinks.
I do like money. She looks at you and she's just like, and then she passes out. So she is now unconscious next to the table. And as you're about to get her up off the floor, you give her a hand. You just hear from across the room, over at the table, the people who are playing dice. You just hear this person, someone slam down on the table really loudly and stand up, and he says, "You snake! You've stolen from me for the last time. I'll have your head." And he draws a sword, and 3 other gentlemen draw swords. And that is where we're going to stop for today. Just as that good old bar fight erupts.
Sweet.
Okay, so that was episode 1 of Seekers of the Scorpion Crown. Yeah. Next week, we're going to have Davis. We're going to have a full cast next week. So if you're watching this week and you were like, man, I just really wish there was one more person. Don't worry, your dreams are going to come true next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. Going to be every week for the whole summer, with I think maybe 1 or 2 days off in there. I got to take a vacation sometime. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're playing BX D&D for those who joined late. The rules for Dungeons & Dragons published in the box sets in 1981. And we're gonna see what happens with our heroes in the last free city of the Brightlands, free for at least the next couple of hours. Maybe until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's perfect. Well, thank you for DMing us. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really great.
That was great.
So thank you guys for playing, and thank you everyone who tuned in for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning, got us started a little late, and generally I have been flying by the seat of my pants in terms of how to use OBS. So there's a little bit of weirdness there, and that'll probably continue, but it'll get better. And let's see here. I should probably point out some of the sponsors and things that I named at the top of the show. I don't know if I'm supposed to outro the show with those, but I think that I should. So, first, people, we're really happy to have supporting the Greyhawk channel, out of many, but our Patreon subscribers, or Patreon patrons, and Twitch subscribers, they help this channel happen. Without them, I wouldn't be able to run this game. None of this would be going on. So thank you so much for all of your support. Also, Roll20 virtual tabletop. It's a good virtual tabletop. We're not using it for this game because I just didn't need another thing to deal with in terms of technical stuff. But it is really great, especially for a free tool. Highly recommend using that. They are, I can't remember what the term was. Hold on. They were the Greyhawk channel is officially supported by Roll20. And go to roll20.net, check them out. Heroic Maps is the official battle map sponsor of the Greyhawk channel. So you can go over to DriveThruRPG, and they have like 300 different maps up there you can get. Really good stuff. Shane, who does some of the main streams on here, I think uses them for all of his games. They're great. Tabletop Loot. You can go over to tabletoploot.com and enter Greyhawk in the coupon code box and get 15% off your dice order. So why not take advantage of it? Everybody loves dice. Get more dice. And finally, if you are a patron or a Twitch sub, you get access to special discounts that others don't. If you go over to the Greyhawk channel private section of their Discord, you can get coupon codes for ruinc.com and Cantrip Candles. So definitely take advantage of that. If you're already giving that money, get those sweet deals, you know? And yeah, that was the whole thing. I'll see everybody next week. We should do outros. obviously.
Yeah.
I'm Lex. I do. In the past, I have done a fantasy comedy actual play YouTube series called Dank Dungeons. You can find us on YouTube. You can also follow me and all the other projects I do over on Twitter at Dank Dungeons TV. I also publish stuff on the DMs Guild sometimes. I'm on other streams. It's a good thing. So definitely check me out there, and let's talk a little bit about our cast before we log off. Let's start with Michaela. What do you do? Where can people find you?
Hey, so my handle is McBoots42, which you can see down here. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be starting up a Patreon soon, but you can basically find me any of those places and keep up with what I do with art and D&D and some new stream shows coming up soon. So yeah, stay tuned for more.
Very cool. Over next, we have Wild Engineer. Where can people find you?
Yes, I'm Wild Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me 2 Eastern on Strategist Academy for some Call of Cthulhu. 9:30 on Mondays. On 9:30 Mondays on Welcome to the Party for some Masks: A New Generation, and on Tuesdays at 2 on Encounter Roleplay for some Dimension World Hopping Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice, very cool. It's a lot of cool games to be in. Jordan,
Okay.
what are you up to?
My name is Jordan with a silent PH in the middle, and I am Jordan with a PH in the middle on all of the things. So if you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and wherever you want to find me. I predominantly make YouTube videos. That's what you make on YouTube, is videos. So you can check it out there. I do Forgotten Realms, lore, and history on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice, excellent. Yeah, and like I said, next week we will have a full cast. We will be joined by Davis, who is a cast member from my Dank Dungeons show. He has also appeared on Nerd Immersion's Twitch channel. He played in their Princes of the Apocalypse game. Is really the main motivating force behind the Dancing Johns. If anybody watched that game, you'll get that joke. It's gonna be fun. So, look forward to seeing him next week, and until then, thanks everyone for watching, and have a fantastic Saturday.
Yes, thank you.
Bye. Michaela so fades out.
Okay, so let's see here. I have cut your audio, I believe. I should have just muted it, but I did a fade out, so now I'm going to have to redo the levels later. Fun! I've created more work for myself. Oh, can you? Oh, you can probably still hear me, because I have not cut my mic. Hi, everyone.